Okay, so in this question, question number 10, we're now asked to factorize this expression. So we've got to put brackets in other words. So in questions like this, or expressions like this, because this is an expression, xy plus 4xz, what we want to do here is look for terms that are common to both expressions, or symbols within the term that are common to both expressions. Are there numbers that are common to both? And are there symbols that are common to both? Well, if you look at it, you can see that x is common to both of those. X times y in this expression, this term rather, and 4 times x times z in this term. So I can take x outside a bracket because x is common to both terms. Now I ask myself the question, what have I got to times this x by to get back to xy? Well, I must times that x by y. So that's what goes inside the bracket. And then I ask myself the question, what have I got to times x by to get back to 4xz, or plus 4xz? And so the answer is 4z, because I've got the x already, so I've got to times that by 4z, and I'll get back to 4xz. So plus 4z. How do I know I've done that right? If I multiply back out this bracket, I get x times y is xy, x times 4z is 4xz, and I get back to the original question. By the way, I've not done the exact one in the textbook because this is a required question for the BTEC course, but a very similar question. So factorizing means taking out of the bracket a term or part of a term that's common to both terms, and in this case x is common. I can always check I've done it correctly. When I think I've factorized it, I then multiply out that bracket and I get back hopefully to the original expression. Here's another one very similar to question number 2, a part 2 rather than question 10. So looking at this, well, let's change this slightly to 6. So looking at this one, is there a number that's common to both terms? Yes, 3. 3 goes into 3 and 3 goes into 6. So I can take a 3 outside the bracket. Is there a symbol that's common to both of them? Yes, x is in the x cubed and x is in the 6xy. So I can take an x outside. I can only take one x outside because although I've got 3 x's, x times x times x in this term, I've only got one x in this term. So 3x can come outside the bracket. Now, what's inside the bracket now? Ask yourself the question, what have I got to times 3x by to get back to the 3x cubed? I've got to times it by 3 by x squared to get back to the 3x cubed. That's the question. What have I got to times 3x by to get back to 3x cubed? X squared. X squared goes in because x times x squared gives x cubed. And then minus, what have I got to times 3x by to get back to 6xy? What have I got to times the 3 by 2 to get back to the 6? And then y to get back to 6xy. Do I know that's right? Multiply back out again. What's 3x times x cubed? Sorry, x squared, 3x cubed. What's 3x times minus 2y minus 6xy? And we're back to what we started with. So now have a go at the question 10 in the text and see if you can get the answer. But you should be able to check yourself you've done it right by multiplying back out your bracket.